Hey guys, Dot 5 here with episode number 1 of season number 2, or in total episode number 17. But season 2 begins now. We're in the Premier League. As you can see here, we've listed a few players for transfers, for loans. They've just come to me saying whether they thought it was a good idea or a bad idea. So we've rejected an offer for Gibbs. We've accepted an offer for Wilson. Higazi from Roma, no thank you. Jonathan Lecco, we haven't accepted a bid for him. He has been sold. Raheem Harper, no, he's not going to Toulouse. And we're also going to go and do our first bit of business ourselves here. So last episode you saw that Norwich had been relegated into the Championship. So first thing I'm going to go and do is try and pick up one of their players, Jamal Lewis, 22-year-old left back. We're going to try and pick him up. And hopefully we can be successful here. We offered 7 mil. They wanted 9.9. We tried to go for 8.5 with a sell-on clause. Try and persuade him a bit there. They did accept it, and if you see on there, we actually have 57 million to spend as our transfer budget. Not too bad for a team just getting promoted. But you can see also, we haven't fully scouted Jamal Lewis, so we do not know what his current overall or his current wages are. But we can do this bit here. We can offer him an important first team role, 5 years, no release clause, and we just got to hope that he makes the first move. He does not, so we decide to go for 20k. Hoping that'll be enough and it won't be annoyed. Luckily for us, they came back with 24k, 220k on a signing on bonus. I removed one of their additional bonuses. They slightly raised the wages, and we've accepted our first signing. Jamal Lewis from Norwich. We're moving straight on to a signing from PSV Eindhoven. Daniel Malen, a 78 overall striker. A lot of talent, a lot of potential. Came from the Arsenal Youth Academy, I do believe. We're going to play his release clause, and we're going to go straight into contract negotiations with him. And he's a 78 overall, 21-year-old, currently on 15k. So we're going to give him a crucial first-team player, 5 years, give him a slight wage increase, and a nice little signing-on bonus as well. Hopefully he'll accept that, and he'll join the squad straight away. Wants a slight increase on his wages to 37.5k, almost... well, no, double and a little bit more on his old wages at PSV, but it's to be expected when you're a Premier League player. And we're also going to go back to Frank Lampard and try and sign one of his players. That's going to be Fikayo Tomori, a value of 5.5. We offered 4.5. They wanted 5. We got 4.75. That's accepted. We're going to go straight into terms here with Ben Godfrey, a player who also was relegated with Norwich. And we're going to again try and go for 4.75 for him. It was between him and Fikayo Tomori on who I wanted to sign. They wouldn't accept the 4.75 like Frank Lampard would for Tomori. So we're going in for Tomori instead of Godfrey. Straight into contract negotiations. He wants an important first team role. He's a 22-year-old, 73 overall. A lot of time to rise up. He'll come in and he'll be one of our highest rated centre-backs already. I think he'll be similar to a J, who I think is 74. So he'll come in and he'll be one of our better centre-backs, just behind Higazi and Juan Jesus. But he has got a very high wage. He actually does decrease that slightly for us, as we are going to send out our scout future, well, not scout futures, our scouting, our scouts basically. We're going to go for a defensive-minded Italian. We're going to go for a Spaniard who is a playmaker, and we're also going to go for a Brazilian who likes to be technically gifted. We're going to send them out for 9 months. So this year we've got Italy, Spain and Brazil. And we're going to go in here. Obviously we won the Carabao Cup last season, so we are in the qualification rounds for the Europa League. We're going to be taking on a team I've never really heard of. I think they're from Norway. But you can see here, just before the press conference was being asked if Tomori will play, if Jamal Lewis will play, and if Marlon will play. And you've got to expect they will. They're coming in and they're probably our best players in some them positions, especially Marlon. He's 5 overall higher than Burke. We're going to play Esbjerg, who I believe are Norwegian. We're away from home. It's an away trip in Europe. And we're going to kick this one off. I'm just going to show the goals for this game, but 77 minutes into the game. Ball's cleared away to AJ. AJ's going to just knock it down to Gilmore. Gilmore to Cardenas. To Marlon. Marlon to Burke. He's going to find eventually a little bit of space, and he can strike it. Goes wide for a corner. From that resulting corner though, you can see here 10 minutes left. We're actually struggling to score against this team, so maybe I shouldn't have disrespected him. But Gilmore whips the wall across. Ajay can't quite get on the end of it. Cardenas, he's just going to hold it up nicely. Out to Gilmore. Going to maybe try and whip one across. Actually cuts inside nicely. Finds Cardenas. Cardenas finds Hegazi on the edge of the box. And Captain Fantastic strikes that one brilliantly into the top left-hand corner. And the first goal of the season is a wonderful strike from our centre-back, our captain, from just on the edge of the box, rising brilliantly into that top left-hand corner. Keeper's not getting on the end of that one. And that is going to be how the game ends, as a 1-0 victory away from home in Norway, or Denmark, as we now approach our first Premier League game away from home at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. So, we're being asked if we can survive the relegation battle. I believe we can. I think we'll get mid-table, maybe pushing for those Europa League spaces with the team we've got. Talking about Tomori, if he'll be the right man for the job, if he's nervous about playing against his old team, and also that there's speculation that Kieran Gibbs refused to sign a contract. I haven't even offered anyone contracts, so that's media bullshit, is what that is. That's fake news. It's fake news. But we kick this season off in the Premier League at Stamford Bridge, taking on Chelsea. Once again, this is just going to be goals, because I wanted to pack all of the transfers into this one, or as many as I could. But 28 minutes in, the ball's dinged over the top, hits the crossbar, we clear it away, only as far as Christian Pulisic, who himself gets away from Livermore quite nicely, lays it across to Jorginho, blocked. We can't clear the ball away. Nicolas Sula lays it off to Kante, turns into the path of Marcelo, strikes it, and it is now 1-0 to Chelsea. Marcelo getting the goal. Made a couple of new signings. What I've done for the Premier League games this season, I've connected a second controller, and I've given them the best possible team, just to make it a bit more difficult. And 37 minutes in, you can see here it's very difficult already. It's Alvaro Morata, plays it to Sula, little 1-2 between them. Tries to strike one there, hits the post. We get it away only as far as N'Golo Kante. Plays it into the path of Christian Pulisic, who then beats Sam Johnson at the near post. They've doubled their lead, and they're just showing how difficult it's going to be in the Premier League this season. We're already 2-0 down. It's not even half time yet. 63 minutes in, Thomas Lemar stands over this free kick, 21 yards out. Willian joins him, he fakes it out. Lemar just dinks it over the wall, hits the post, and it goes in 3-0. We are struggling in the Premier League. A very nice goal there by Lemar, but the other ones I think were avoidable if we had just cleared the ball away a bit further. Hopefully, though, you can see here, 83 minutes in, they're looking to make it 4-0 as Lemar once again on the attack. Luckily for us, Ajay intercepts and plays it to Gilmour, a former Chelsea boy himself. He plays it to Oli Burke. Oli Burke lays it off to Marlon, beats Sula for pace. 1-on-1 with Kepa Arrizabalaga. He just tucks it past him. Cool, calm and collected. And instead of grabbing the ball and helping us try and get another one maybe, he just goes for the celebration. He runs over to the fans, does the worm in front of them. But that is going to be how the game ends, as a 3-1 loss. Goals from Marcelo, Pulisic and Lemar for Chelsea, and for Marlon for us. So scoring on his debut, it's a good thing. Better things can continue, especially against the smaller teams in the Premier League. We should be able to beat them. It's just we haven't got a small team for a while, because next up we've got Manchester United in the league. But in between that game and the Chelsea game, we've also got the second leg of the game in the Europa League against that Norwegian side. Here we've been asked a couple questions about Tomori, Hegazi, and what to blame. There's nothing really we could blame. Chelsea were just a much better team than us. They've got a much better overall squad than us. But you can see here, we're going into the second leg against this team. We're already 1-0 up. We've got the away goal. We're now at the Hawthorns, where we should have much more confidence. 24 minutes into the game, Billy Gilmour's whipping the ball across. Juan Jesus scores his first goal for the club. A nice little header. Rises the highest. Gilmour's got an assist there as well. Brilliant. 25 minutes into the game, but it's 1-0 in this game. 2-0 on aggregate. And that should be enough. I don't see us conceding 2 goals to a random Norwegian/Danish team. Oli Burke just puts the cherry on top there. Curls one past the goalkeeper. Doubles our lead in the game. Makes it 3-0 on aggregate. Oli Burke's continuing his fine form from last season with a very nice curled effort into the bottom corner. And you can see there we are through now to the not to the knockout rounds, to the playoff rounds. We've gone through the qualifiers. We're now into the playoff rounds where we'll play a Polish team. Again, a team we should be able to defeat as we take on Manchester United at the Hawthorns, our first Premier League game at home this season. And 19 minutes in, Ilicic is going to play the ball to Fred. Fred's going to play the ball back to Luis Alberto to Ilicic. A little 1-2 between them two. And they're going to work their way upfield nicely here into the path of Ilicic. He's already punished us last season in the Carabao Cup final, as he does so now in the league. But you can see here he runs over to the manager. it is not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I'd like to think that the Carabao Cup final is the reason he got sacked last season, because he lost to us. That's what I'd like to think. But 7 minutes before half-time, Rafinha looks to get the better of Jamal Lewis for pace. Can't quite do so, so he has to whip it in. Falls to Luis Alberto to Tellez. Alex Tellez, one of the best left-backs on the planet. Tucks that one in out the near post. Doubles Manchester United's lead away from home. And the Premier League is a whole different story. We absolutely smashed the Championship, but the Premier League, you can see here, just past half-time, literally 2 minutes into the second half, Luis Alberto plays the ball to Fred. Fred backheels it to Ilicic. He strikes it at the near post. We haven't even had a touch in this second half, and it's already now 3-0 to Manchester United. Struggled against Chelsea, but at least we scored against them. This Man United side, it doesn't look like we're going to score here, as we play the ball straight back to them here after we've intercepted it. Rafinha finds Dan James. Jesus plays it to Higazi. Higazi plays it right into the path of Rafinha. Wan-Bissaka to Rafinha. Rafinha's just going to cut it back to Dan James. Overhead kick into the back of the net, and the game is done. 4-0 loss to Manchester United. How poor. Hopefully, though, we can get our confidence back as we take on Wisła Krakow, the Polish team in the Europa League. And right from kickoff, we're going to look to press high and get the ball here, as Ollie Burke nicks the ball off of their defender. Can't quite get to it first, but it does again. Closes the defender down brilliantly. Marlon plays through Burke. He strikes it. Well saved. Marlon at a very tight angle tucks that one into the back of the net. And it is 1-0 to West Brom. 2 minutes into this game. A lovely press. A lovely high press. Regaining possession. A nice little goal that we deserved, really. Here, Townsend looks to start an attack as he plays the ball to Cardenas. Cardenas is going to dribble past a few. Plays it to Marlon. Marlon holds it up nicely. Going to try and squeeze it through to Cardenas. Does so nicely. First time to Ollie Burke. Gets the better of the defence. Going to strike this one across goal. Doubles our lead. He got the kind of assist for the first goal. He goes and scores the second. 2 away goals against this Polish team. I see ourselves just cruising through this game now. 52 minutes into the game, though, Lemos receives the ball. Looks to get rid of Samfield, but Samfield with a brilliant little tackle there. Grabowski into Lemos. Lemos to Gazinski. Intercepted nicely, but it falls to Savic. Grazinski strikes it past Collins, our young keeper. And it's now 2-1 going into the second leg. That's how this game is going to end. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you have, please like, subscribe. Season 2 is beginning, baby. Let's go.